Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Patrick Dang here. Now, no matter what industry you're in or what product or service you are selling, at some point of your sales career, you are going to have to compete with another competitor. Now, here's the thing, sales is a game of slight advantage. So whoever can position their product or service as better than their competition is going to win the deal. But the problem that I see a lot of salespeople out there face is that they're not sure exactly how they can differentiate what they are selling with the rest of the competition. And a lot of times if they're not able to do this, they're not able to generate sales because their product or service is just seen as a commodity. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do and what to say when it comes to talking about your competitors during a sales meeting and making sure you position yourself on top. Now, before we go ahead and get started, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you also hit the notification bell if you want to see new videos like this every single week. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into the action. So what you want to do in a sales situation, right? So let's say you're talking to a customer one-on-one. The technique I'm going to show you is called framing the conversation, meaning you're controlling the entire dialogue of the conversation and you're allowing the prospect to think in a way that favors your product or service more than your competitors. So the amateur mistake a lot of salespeople make is that they'll just go on and talk about why their product is so great. And what they'll do is they will just ignore talking about their competitors, hoping that the customer never brings it up. Now, the problem with this is that if you don't talk about your competitors with your prospect during that meeting, then you're allowing the prospect to go out to your competitors after they talk to you and get more information. Now, the strategy behind this technique is that instead of having that customer go get information about your competitors from your actual competitor, you might as well just talk about the competitor right there and give them information, but frame it in a way where your product or service is deemed as more valuable compared to your competitors. So let's go ahead and dive into the strategy on how this actually works. Well, first of all, if you're selling a product or service that is just flat out not good and doesn't have any competitive advantage, this technique is not going to work for you. Now, this only really works if you have some type of advantage. Now, you might have a competitive product or service that competes with another person and you might go head to head, right? There might be some things that you do better than them and your competition might be doing some things better than you, right? So what you want to do in this situation is you want to make a list of all the things that you are the best at, right? And it could be slightly better than your competitors, but you have to make sure that you're actually better in these ways. So make a list of all the things. Then you want to get that list and you pick the main things that people will most likely resonate with. So whether your product or service can get a certain result faster, maybe it's less expensive, maybe it's higher quality, whatever it is that you are better at, make that list. Now that you listed everything out and you know exactly why someone should choose your product or service over a competitor, what you want to do next is when you're in the sales meeting, you want to take a little jab at your competitor. You're not totally bad-mouthing them. You're not, saying all these negative things about them, right? Because if you bad-mouth someone too much, the customer won't really trust you. You want to make sure that you are fair and you are actually telling the truth. So what I'm saying is you want to take a little jab at a weakness that your competitor has, and then you want to position your product or service, assuming that, the opposite of their weakness is your strength, and you put it side by side, and it's going to be very clear that your product is something that they should buy versus their competitors. So let me go ahead and give you an example so you know exactly what I'm talking about and you know how to execute it, right? So let's say I'm a salesperson and I am selling microphones, okay? So I happen to have a microphone right over here. And so what this is gonna be is gonna be the Shure SM7B. It's essentially a $400 microphone, very high quality. A lot of people use it for vocals, like singing or even podcasts, right? So let's say in a sales meeting, I'm selling this microphone and I'm talking to an aspiring entrepreneur who wants to start a podcast, right? So if this person wants to start a podcast, obviously they need high quality audio equipment, and I wanna sell this $400 microphone, and I wanna differentiate this microphone from all my competitors. Now, before I do it, I'm gonna review the strategy with you, and that is I want to highlight the strength of my microphone, and I wanna take these little jabs at the weaknesses of my competitors and compare my microphone with a competitor's, and it's gonna be shown that mine's is much better in that certain way. So let's go ahead and dive into this example. And just for illustration purposes, let's say my competitor is the Blue Yeti microphone, which is a $100 mic. This mic is actually pretty good. good, but then it's not professional grade as this one. So let's go ahead and show you how I'm gonna sell it. So let's say, for example, I'm in a sales meeting, we're gonna jump right into it. The customer asks about this mic and they wanna compare it to the competitor, which is the Blue Yeti mic. And I can say something like, hey, the Blue Yeti mic is a great product for its price. Now, the Blue Yeti mic is very easy to use and the sound quality is decent. It's really good for amateurs who are just starting out in content creation or even podcasting like you're doing. But here's the thing, that mic can do the job, but if you're looking for something that will really give you that professional sound, especially since you're starting a podcast and it seems like this is something you're really serious about, my personal recommendation would be the Shure SM7B. Now, I gotta let you know up front that this microphone right here is not for everybody because, it definitely is an investment for higher quality. It's really for people who are serious about obtaining the highest production value for the most affordable price. Now, if you ever watched, let's say, the Joe Rogan podcast or the Gary Vaynerchuk podcast that he has, you can kind of see that they're actually using this exact microphone. So yes, this is not necessarily the cheapest mic that you're gonna find on the market, but then it's reliable. A lot of people use it that already do podcasts, and I'm sure that if you invest in this product now, you're gonna be able to use this for years to come and have the best audio production quality, and you won't have to switch any microphones because this will do the job whether you're just starting out or when you make it big. And in case of anything ever goes wrong, we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can always return it, and we have a 1-year warranty in case any parts break down. We'll just completely replace it absolutely for free. So essentially, that's exactly how I would sell this microphone if someone was considering this one versus the Blue Yeti mic. Right? Again, this is $400. The Blue Yeti mic is $100, and so by putting it side by side, how I'm differentiating is showing how much more high quality it is compared to the other microphone, and I'm diving deep into the person's aspirations, right? So if somebody wants to be a content creator, they want to do podcasts, I gotta dive deep into that, and I want to say, hey, you want to be like Joe Rogan, you want to be like Gary Vaynerchuk, this is the mic that they are using. If you want to be serious and you want to take it to the next level like they have, this is the one for you, right? And so once they make that connection, then they're emotionally going to invest in this microphone. And you can kind of see that I'm not using any technical specs. I'm not saying like, how the audio thing works in this. I'm just saying that this is a good microphone. A lot of people have it. It's an investment, but if you want to invest in yourself, this is the way to go. So now, putting this microphone away for now, what we're gonna do next is we are going to go into another example, right? So let's say we reverse the situation where now I'm actually selling the Blue Yeti microphone to the same exact customer, and I'm trying to show that this Blue Yeti microphone, which is only $100, is better than the $400 that I just tried to sell, right? So basically, I'm just reversing the situation where I'm selling a different product to the same exact person. So why I'm doing this is I wanna show you how you can highlight different strengths and show your competitors different weaknesses. Even though you're selling to the exact same customer, you could sell different products and convince them to go in your favor. So let's go ahead and dive into the other example where I'm gonna sell the $100 microphone, the Blue Yeti mic. So let's say the customer asks about the Shure microphone, and I'm gonna be the salesperson. I'm gonna say, yeah, the Shure microphone is actually a pretty good product for its price. Now, obviously, as you know, it's gonna be $400, and just between you and me, if you're starting a podcast, right, most likely you're gonna have to invest in maybe 2 or 3 microphones. So that's gonna be $800 or even over $1,000 just on the microphones. And also on top of that, for these microphones, the Shure microphones, you're gonna have to also buy an audio interface, which is another few $100s. So when you add everything up together, you're spending around $1,000, $1,500 just to get the podcast going, right? Before you even make your first episode. Now, this is all good and the quality is good and it's a big investment, obviously. But if you're just starting out podcasting, what I would recommend is that you just create content right away in the most simplest way and most affordable way and have the highest production quality without having to, spend so much money. So with that said, the recommendation I actually have for you is to use the Blue Yeti mic. And the reason is because although this microphone is very affordable, for the actual price you're paying, you're getting superb quality, okay? This microphone, you can plug it directly into your computer. You don't have to have an audio interface. It just plug and play. It works right away. And in fact, a lot of YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and podcasters will use this microphone because it's so simple and the quality and the audio production of the sound that it produces is excellent, and a lot of people do use it already. And one more thing, if you put this microphone in between 2 people talking, if both people talk into this microphone, it can capture 2 sounds from different directions. Meaning, if you're starting a podcast and you want to do interviews, you just need to put one microphone in front of 2 people and it's gonna capture that audio. tutorial, and that's gonna be a lot more simpler than, you know, getting 2 or 3 microphones and connecting everything and, you know, spending all this money when in fact you can just get one microphone and put it right in the middle. So, you know, if you're just starting out again and you're podcasting and you want to take it serious but you don't want to spend too much money, my recommendation for you, although you don't have to take it, is going for the Blue Yeti mic because it's simple, it's cost effective, and the audio quality is excellent. In fact, like I said before, a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers and podcasters already use this one. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of how I would pitch it. And as you can see in this example, when I'm selling the Blue Yeti mic to the same exact customer, you know, who's serious about podcasting, I am just highlighting the strengths of my product, right? It's simple, easy to use, high production quality, and it's cheap. When I try to sell the Shure microphone, the more expensive one, I focus on, you know, trying to get this person to be very aspirational and, you know, to go pro. But in the Blue Yeti microphone, I just want to get them started with high production quality. So as you can see, even if you're selling something to the same exact customer, you have to understand your strengths, highlight those strengths, and put them next to your competitors' weaknesses, and then you're going to be able to differentiate your products. So even if you're selling something as saturated as a microphone, there is always a way to differentiate yourself and prove that your product or service is better than your competitors. So the main key things is understand what your strengths are, understand what your customers' weaknesses are, put them side by side, and also tap into the emotions and, you know, what your customers' aspirations are. Whatever goal that they have is, you want to show that your products and services will help them get from point A to point B. And if they believe that you can actually help them, which is, you know, just buying the microphone or whatever the case is, then they will choose you over your competitors. And so with that said, that is pretty much how you are going to frame conversations to work in your favor and talk about your competitors in a way that positions your product as a superior product, or if you're selling a service as well. If you learned a little something in this video, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit the notification bell to get new videos every single week. And one more thing, if you are looking to take your sales skills to the next level, I actually created a free guide on exactly how you can sell anything to anybody. I don't care what your product or service is or what industry you work in, this guide is going to be a great way for you to take your sales game to the next level. So if you want that free guide, go ahead and click the link in the description and you're gonna know exactly what to do once you get there. And in the comments, let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future, because I'm always open to learn, you know, what challenges you have around sales, and so I can make more videos for you guys, right? Because I am here for you. So with that said, that is what we're gonna cover in this video, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one.